The shadow on the pavement is that of videomaker Alaa El Ali, walking in the Palestinian refugee camp of Shatila, Beirut, Lebanon, early in the morning. The shootings made by Alaa are taken from the video walk that we made to highlight the fictitious and surreal aspect of Shatila, a real place of misery and poverty, a place that should not exist. But it exists, and thousands of Palestinian refugees live packed in there, suspended for more than 60 years, waiting for justice, waiting for the right to go back to their legitimate properties in Palestine, which is now Israel. Our history of solidarity and artistic pedagogic exchange with Palestinian refugees started in 2002 with Sonora, a play orchestration whose dramaturgic text is freely inspired by Jean Genet's story, 4 Hours in Shatila. Jean Genet was the first European witness who entered the Palestinian refugee camps of Sabra and Shatila, where civilians were massacred from 16th to 18th September 1982 by Lebanese Falangist militiamen under the aegis of the Israeli army that had invaded Lebanon.
Vicinissimo al quartier generale israeliano non ci sono più case, ma 2 grandissime fosse comuni da una parte e dall'altra della strada che taglia in 2 Shatila. Pomeriggio arrivano i giornalisti e i fotografi. Non è solo il teatro di un massacro, ma di una terribile tortura di massa, tracce di mutilazioni, scalpi, accecamenti, monti di cadaveri tumefatti. Sono stati abbattuti anche dei cavalli. Tre soldati dell'esercito libanese, col fucile puntato, mi portarono a una jeep in cui sonnecchiava un ufficiale. Gli chiesi: lei parla francese? English. La sua voce era secca, forse perché l'avevo appena svegliato di soprassalto. Guardò il mio passaporto, disse in francese: viene da laggiù? Il suo dito indicava Shatila. Sì. E ha visto? Sì. Lo scriverà? Sì. Mi restituì il passaporto. Mi fece segno di andarmene. I tre fucili si abbassarono. Avevo passato 4 ore a Shatila. Mi restavano nella memoria circa 40 cadaveri. Tutti, dico esattamente tutti, erano stati torturati, probabilmente dell'ubriachezza, nei canti, tra le risate, nell'odore della polvere e già della carogna. Indubbiamente ero solo, il solo europeo, con qualche vecchia donna palestinese, con qualche giovane fedei senza armi. Ma se questi 5 o 6 esseri umani non fossero stati lì ed io avessi incontrato quella città distrutta, i palestinesi orizzontali, neri e gonfi, sarei diventato pazzo. Dove sono stato? In quella città in briciole spianata che ho visto, ho creduto di vedere. Percorso, sollevata, portata da un potente odore di morte. Tutto ciò era successo davvero.
Beirut. The project, The Peace Line, originated from the analysis of the Palestinian question and was followed by sonora dramaturgy. The project promotes cultural exchanges in Lebanon, where we carry out training activities in the field of social theater in favor of Palestinian refugees and disadvantaged communities. In Italy, we promote education to peace and human rights activities in secondary schools and universities of the Abruzzo region, starting from the question of Palestinian refugees. We drive through Beirut with Dr. Mai Haddad, collaborator of Al Jana Center. She is our guide, and we follow the green line that divided Beirut in 2 parts during the civil war from 1975 to 1990. Along the streets, we often see the outlines of gutted buildings, with clear marks of bullet holes as a memory of the civil war. Driving around the city, as well as on the entire Lebanese territory, a few poor, dirty, mazy, and abandoned Palestinian refugee camps can be found. With Fadi, we go to Burj al-Barajni camp to visit his family. The narrow streets described by Jean Genet come back to our minds, materialized in the situation of the camp. Narrow alleys, falling power cables, and broken down water pipes. We quickly walk along the narrow streets as if we are swallowed by an abyss. Gutted walls with bullet holes are frequently found. In the camps, all buildings and the few infrastructures are illegally built. 65% of refugees live below the poverty threshold. The assistance of the UNRWA, a UN agency for refugees, is just able to face indispensable needs for survival.
Hello?
Hello.
So we have it without us.
Yes, yes. You are the true...
This is the electricity.
That's good for trial of
You know, we are here is the entrance of the camp.
انت بتقول لهم ايه اعطيه كل شوي تعملوا من اي شيء صلاح
Paulina.
يا فهموا
C'è anche un colombo.
We are in Mar Elias refugee camp to visit Ahmed Al-Aidi's family. Mar Elias is the smallest of the 12 officially recognized camps. However, 15 unofficial settlements are scattered in the Lebanese territory, where more than 400,000 Palestinian refugees live, corresponding to about 10% of the Lebanese population.
Hello?
هذا عمو يورج.
Salam.
صور هذول يا شباب عليهم صور التشرب ولا صور عليهم
With Mai, we visit former Gaza hospital, which is near Shatila camp and Rio Sabra, where more than 200 families live packed after they were evacuated from other refugee camps, such as Tal el-Zatar, that was destroyed during the civil war. We go to Mohammed's house. He lives with his family at the Gaza hospital in a very small room of 3 meters by 2. Based on the needs and time of the day, the room becomes living room, kitchen or bedroom with no bathroom or running water.
Very nice. Hello?
علمتي ولادك؟
لا والله ما علمت حدا ما معنا شاب.
When it was built by the PLO in 1968, the Gaza hospital managed by the Palestinian Red Crescent, was the second most important hospital in Lebanon. It had 3 large units, including emergency and maternity, also provided with underground operating theaters. The hospital provided free care to Palestinian and Lebanese people. The beginning of the end of the Gaza hospital coincided with Israeli invasion of Lebanon and massacre of Sabra al-Shatila in 1982. The Gaza hospital has now the record of vertical refugee camp where around 2,500 people live. At the entrance of the refugee camp of Shatila, there is Martyrs Square, the largest mass grave excavated after the massacre of 1982. This square is now a place of memory, through the commitment of Stefano Chiarini, who, around 10 years ago, was able to reclaim this area used as a landfill and turn it into the symbol place of the massacre.
This is
2006. We arrive in Lebanon 2 weeks after the ceasefire, on 1st September. The Israeli invasion during the 34 days of war from 12 July to 14 August caused 1,191 victims on the Lebanese territory. 40% were children, 4,000 injured, more than 1 million people were evacuated, 78 bridges destroyed, 30,000 houses, 3 airports, including the international airport, motorways, ports, dams, power and gas stations, industries, factories, warehouses, farms, schools, community centers, radio and television stations, health centers, churches, mosques, and hospitals were damaged. The war also caused a tremendous environmental disaster, as GA power station, 30 kilometers south of Beirut, was bombed, and more than 30,000 tons of fuel oil for power production were spilled in the Mediterranean Sea, provoking a black tide on a length of 120 kilometers, which reached even Syria and some coastal areas of Turkey and Cyprus. The bombings also affected the most important nesting sites in Lebanon of Caretta caretta and Chelonia maides, the only 2 sea turtle species nesting in the Mediterranean basin. These species are threatened and protected in the Mediterranean by international laws. Since 2004, we collaborate with Al Jannah Center of Beirut, a Lebanese NGO that carried out support activities to Palestinian refugees and marginalized communities. The center also promotes and organizes the Janana Summer Encounter, an international meeting for training on artistic and holistic language methodologies for young social and cultural operators, educators, and students. Every year, around 140 people participate in the Janana Summer Encounter with 15 trainers from various countries, including us. During the meeting, we lead theater and art pedagogy workshops for children, teenagers, and young people. As the pictures referring to Play to Become and Living Book workshops show, participants follow the same process experienced by children when we work directly with them. These activities promote the development of multiple intelligences and body organization through psychomotor and mimesis games and exercises, integrating the sensations and emotions experienced both during the expression process and during the dramatization of the story, collectively invented in the graphic transfer. Invented stories are then transcribed and illustrated in self-made books and performed through body language. The presence of mimesis as a process of expressive investigation is significant, with a special reference to the 4 archetypical elements to make people discover how feelings and emotions have equivalence in nature and catch the sensational idea of being nature.
Fiamme di fuoco che bruciano qualunque cosa, delle fiamme di fuoco incandescenti che bruciano. Trasformarsi in un'aria leggera, morbida, intoccabile, invisibile, aria, che può alzarsi libera nell'aria.
لحتى نرقص.
The workshop on puppet making with recycled material, handling and dramatization technique is another promotion process to the development of multiple intelligences and social relationships. The workshop supports the expression of children's feelings and thoughts, who can transfer their daily life, which often remain unexpressed, causing anxiety and fears, into puppet characters. In the workshop, children's feelings and thoughts can be expressed through puppets. This allows creativity to act, to find solutions and/or give stimulations to overcome fears, traumas, and existential problems. The workshop also supports the development of language and education by letting children discover that grammar rules are necessary to create puppet stories, discovering how these rules are transformed into dialogues and stage actions in the language of puppets. Last but not least, the workshop aims at raising the awareness on environmental issues, giving the opportunity to recycled materials to become expressive characters in the creative and fantasy process.
جديد. أنا اسمي جنرال.
لا ما لقيت الحل.
شو جاي تعملي؟
جاي انك تفل من هون. شو جاي تعمل هون انت؟
فل؟ فل؟
شو اللي عطل عني؟ انا حسيتك من الصبح.
Every year, at the Gianana Summer Encounter, we propose fragments from our dramaturgies. Body and mask, being unveiled by covering the face with a mask. This workshop is organized for teenagers, young people, and adults. Its focus is body language. This expressive process facilitates the discovery and awareness of the body as a communication and relation tool. This process facilitates the repossession of individual emotional and sentimental sensitivity by breaking the invisible barriers of the body regimented by social conventions. This workshop also promotes the development of manual skills and use of tools, the discovery of non-verbal languages and their meaning in daily life.
I nostri corpi diventano così. Zero.
صورة بتمثل الرعب.
Ok, però le maschere si devono vedere al
In Lebanon in 2009, for the Italian Cooperation Office of the Italian Embassy in Beirut, our association designed a professionalizing workshop for social cultural operators to prevent and fight against violence against women and gender inequalities in refugee camps and Lebanese and Palestinian communities. From the workshop Iphigenia, Glauci and the others, Rahel's story was written as a collective theatrical writing about a young girl and her becoming a woman and how this is transferred to her through education, life experiences, social educational models, prejudice, stereotypes, commonplaces, invisible barriers, which generate discriminating behaviors in families, schools, communities, societies, and handing down gender discrimination and violence. The educational activities aimed first at raising the awareness of operators of their own communication processes, to acquire, also by virtue of their life experience, theory and creative skills, a sort of alphabet to read the body speaking verbally and or with gestures only, behaviors, sounds, tones, spaces, timing, developing capacities to recognize communicative and metacommunicative indicators, to be able to analyze contexts, needs and or circumstances, to act in disadvantaged contexts and or conflict between genders, to receive victims in violence prevention centers, formulate strategies to overcome invisible barriers through social theater methods. In collaboration with Al-Jannah Center, through the years, we have also organized workshops on the techniques of street theater and large street puppets, with the participation in some editions of the Janana Spring Festival, which is an itinerant festival of theater and street animations through the territory of Lebanon during Orthodox Easter holidays. Beyond its contradictions, Lebanon is a country with rich memory of the past, beauty of natural landscapes and architecture, friendship and hospitality, full of the scent of Mediterranean culture. Through the years, we have validated and integrated Maietic methodology. We established a model integrating theater and art knowledge to promote individual growth and education, the discovery of resilient capacities to support the development of personal independence, self-esteem and social intelligence, primary education of all children, equality of men and women, quality of living, human development, and environmental protection. Through education activities, we provide good practices and know-how for conflict management and problem solving, as we are convinced about the social value of theater, art, and culture as the grounds of contemporary societies and tools for the promotion of human rights and education to peace.